Taylor,
man. Oh yeah, for sure.
Taylor and Boogie are both Magic enthusiasts. Is it like poker, where like if I played a much better poker player than me, there's a real chance I would win a hand. I could even win like 2 out of 3 hands. Even though he's better, sometimes it goes like that. In Magic, does the better player always win?
No,
not always. Because there's
time.
the deck archetypes matchups, yes, but over time there are some greats of the game that have like a 75-85% win ratio, even on the pro level. And a lot of it is, especially when you're playing physical cards, not so much with Arena, but when you're playing with the physical cards, a lot of it is being able to read your opponent, being able to bluff, being able to do that kind of stuff. So there's a lot of professional poker players can cross over to Magic, and Magic players can cross over to poker pretty regularly.
And the thing about the amateur player being able to win at poker, that is true when the amateur player doesn't care if they win, if they lose. Mm-hmm. It's when there's money at stake and you're like,
to read. Yeah.
There's reads don't mean anything. Actions don't mean anything if you don't care about winning and losing. And that's why it can be difficult to play against a billionaire who's just like, yeah, sure. All right. I don't care.
Yeah, Magic is very different. Like I guarantee Boogie's played Magic way longer than me, and he's way better than me as far as knowing all the mechanics and everything. But if I were to play a really effective, fast, burn deck, and he was playing a real slow build blue and didn't get a lot of cancels in there or something, I would probably win.
Right.
And that's because of the deck tech against each other. Whereas
if
we were both playing that slow build, he would know the better card order and the way to play it than I would.
Right. And so the things that factor into Magic is obviously deck archetype is one of the biggest factors. And so whether or not you have a good matchup or a bad matchup, because those are really going to make a difference. And then you've got the luck factor, the cards that you draw, the cards that they draw, whether you draw the right lands, they draw the right lands, whether or not you draw your answers. And then you have the strategy portion, which is I know what his deck is going to do, and I know what I need to do to counter what his deck's going to do, and I know what the sideboard in, and I know how to read my opponent. And so all of that does factor in. But at the end of the day, the answer to your question is absolutely you're not going to win all the time when you're playing Magic at the professional level. And I've heard there's one pro player who wrote a book, and he was talking about like being a chef in a kitchen and knowing all the shortcuts. If I were in a kitchen, I wouldn't know the most efficient way to get zest off of a lemon, but he does. So it's going to take him less time, and he's going to make a better meal than I am. And Magic players need to learn all the shortcuts. But when a pro player is playing a pro player and they're doing their absolute best, it always comes down to the luck factor and the deck matchup every time.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I tried to take as much of that out when I was playing a lot. I played a lot of mono red, just really fast burn decks. I must have bought what I did. I saw a lot of people, they're like, yeah, I did all this research and, I just looked at all the cards that were possibly available to me and I strategized. I'm like, why? That's not what they do in NASCAR. They say, well, Jimmy Johnson won with this setup last year 5 times. Let's copy it. So that's what I did. I looked up the tournaments. I saw what people were winning fucking like tournaments.
All the top 8. I remember you doing that and being like I felt like a retard because we were talking about like deck techs and building, and I'd be like, yeah, so I'm looking at like these 3 similar meta decks, and I'm trying to pull the best aspects of both, and I'm like testing it on my own and buying the cards and everything. And Kyle's like, yeah, what I did is I went to top8magicdecks.com and went to buy all, and I have a deck.
Yeah,
and I was you son of a bitch, that's a way better idea.
I just found like what are the best players in the world? The players who've been playing for like 20 years or whatever and know what they're doing and have unlimited monies. What are they using for a red deck? Right. How much does it cost?
Yeah. They've got fucking $4 ball lightning in there that are all $70 a piece or something ridiculous.
Yeah, like lots of like just it's all offense. It's just like 4 1s and stuff like that. It just everything is. I don't remember the deck. I still own it. If I could remember the login for that fucking Magic website, I don't know. But I would win a lot. I would just destroy people, and they would leave. They would just fucking like so and so is disconnected. Like they don't want to play against this shit because I'm just like poof, poof, poof.
That's kind of how I've always played Magic. I'll net deck if I'm going to tournaments. If I'm playing Friday Night Magic, I'll probably throw together my own shit. And the way I'm playing Arena right now, I have agreed that every time a new set comes out, I will put $100 into Arena and use that to draft till I have every card in the set that I want and need, and then hold my gems for the next set. And I spent, I guess, probably about $400 or $500 on Arena since it launched 2 years ago. So that's a lot for a fucking mobile
but
game.
not that much
still.
at all compared to like Magic the
Right.
Gathering Online, the predecessor, where you had to
Exactly.
buy fucking everything.
And I do still buy a case of cards from my shop, but I get it at cost now, obviously, because I'm a partner up there and have money in the shop. But that's kind of how I always play Magic, is net deck, because I'll have all the cards. But what I'm doing with Arena is actually really surprising. I prefer to play limited formats. I prefer to play sealed. Or I prefer draft, then sealed. If I'm drafting in real life, I want a cube. I don't want to draft the sets. I want to draft somebody's cube. And if I'm playing standard to get my dailies done or competing in a tournament and arena, I just throw together whatever makes sense to me. And like, fuck it. If I win, I lose. It doesn't matter. But like when I was playing tournament Magic, that was the only way to play. Find the net deck, find the most efficient version, find the deck that you're going to pilot the best, practice at a shitload, get to know the format, and then go to fucking Memphis, Tennessee, and spend 3 days playing Magic trying to earn money.
Chiz and I spent a lot of money on that shit. We had an arms race. It was like the fucking United States and the Soviet Union. Like at first we set like we like got together and signed a treaty, like a magic proliferation agreement, if you will. And it was like, all right, the Soviet Chizes may spend up to $75 this quarter, and the imperialist Kyles also $75. All right. And we blow through our 75 like instantly. And I go back to him and be like, hey, what do you feel about spending another 75? 150 is kind of a round number. It ain't, by the way. It's like, I've been thinking that. My what is it? Eldrazi? What are those like weird gray
Eldrazi.
My Eldrazi deck could really be filled out with another 75. And it's I agree. By the end, we just abandoned the whole pact, and it was just one day I would destroy Chiz, and he'd be like, "The fuck is that card? How much is that?" And I hear him, "That's $100 card." I'm like, "I only got 4 of them." He's just like, "What the fuck?"
I remember you guys talking about that because it would be like, "Well, I did add 4 of these," and then one of you would be like, "Chiz, that's a $15 a piece card. You just added $60. I'm not playing you again until I get to add another $60 worth of cards."
Yeah.
And then Kyle would go, "I actually bought $68 worth of cards. So you have 8 more to deal with." And then he'd be like, "Well, I couldn't max out the 4 I wanted, so I've now spent $87. And I was like, "Well, I'm not playing you again until I get the 18. Like it was in
the end,
arms race.
I realized that Magic the Gathering was the only one winning. All right. They were just like, keep it up, boys. Oh yeah, we just dropped some new cards. Maybe you want to take a look at those. So I'm glad I'm playing a game right now that's not pay to win. There's no like microtransactions. There's none of that nonsense.
I could have swore to God I paid another $100 to help me win.
And Magic is not necessarily
fair enough.
I've used green beatdown decks on Magic the Gathering Arena. I haven't put any money into it, and like green beatdown is the easiest one to build without putting money into it.
Yeah.
And I've beaten decks that are clearly way more structured than mine, where they're playing mythic rare after mythic rare, and it's just like, no, bitch, like I got enough giant growths, like I can still win. Like if you're trying to win on the cheap, green beatdown is the way to go in Magic.
Yeah,
that's where you want to go.
I had a very nice green deck. It was fun.